Back with our stance. Very important, the stability, like I said at the beginning, that we have good width in our stance as well as length. The problem I see with most beginning fighters is that we have good length, but not very good width. And we end up in what we call a tightrope position. Once we're in that tightrope position where our back foot is directly behind our front foot, we have very limited stability, either left or right. So it's also very important that we keep good width in our stance. Ball of the back foot for me so that I can move forward. And this is where our bobbing and weaving and our slipping position comes in. Slipping and bobbing weaving is our defense as a fighter. What I must do for the slip is a very basic motion of kicking the hip out to the side, keeping the hands up, and bringing my shoulders over to the opposite position and returning back to center. This slipping motion is very good, not only for your defense, but if you're interested in fitness, on developing the abdominal region that covers the ribs and connects just to the side of the body for those swing kicks. So again, the slipping position, from the ball of the back foot, the hands up high, eyes forward, chin tucked, slipping one to our right, two to our left, one to our right, two to our left. From a side angle, you can see my body weight is still over my knee, and my hip is the only thing that is kicking out, bringing my shoulders. Allows me to hit that closed side. Coming back to center, he throws the cross. From here, that allows me to hit that exposed side. For him to come back and strike me, he has to cross his body, making it twice as hard for him. Next position, defensive position we will learn, is the bob and weave. First of all, to bob is generally a technique that will be coming straight at me, much like a jab. A high jab, I want to slightly get under the technique. At the same time, I have to keep in mind that I'm bringing myself down to the best or strongest punching position of my opponent, the shoulder height. So as I come underneath the punch, I have to bend the knees and tuck the hands in a turtle position, obviously keeping the eyes forward. It's what we call closing the door. You'll notice that my palms turn towards my face and my eyes continue to look between the palms, and I return. So the jab comes straight at my forehead, I come underneath, I close the door, and then I return as the jab or second punch comes back. Bob to return. Bob to return. Once again, with my training partner Nick, as he throws the jab high, I slightly slip underneath with the bob. As he returns back, I time my return. So I'm coming down, both knees are bending. I do not ever want to lean away from the punch, because all it's going to do is set me up for that second punch. Nick knows he hasn't reached, he'll take a tiny slip in and be able to hit me with the second technique. So I want to keep my body weight over top, brings me down, also allows me to strike from that position. As he returns, I can come back up. That is bob. To take the bob to an advanced position, we go to our bobbing position down, and I will take, once again, like on the punches, my back heel and pivot out. I'm going to bob to my left side, kicking my back heel off, bringing my shoulder across, and then coming up, playing almost peekaboo with my opponent. Coming back down, bobbing back center, and returning. That would be my bob and weave to my left side to return. Off to the left, return. Once again, always traveling with my eyes inside of those palms. And the total control of my movement is off of that back heel. That brings me across, brings me back. Coming down and bobbing and weaving off to my right side, I would come down and turn that back heel in, bringing my lead shoulder and up to return. Pivoting in to return and back. In to return and back. What we're doing from here is we're getting underneath generally either a hook punch or a swing kick, a high swing kick. So I can bob and weave, bring myself to the outside, bob and weave, bring myself to the outside of the opposite side, looking like this with my opponent. As Nick throws the lead hook, I will come underneath, bob and weave, come to his outside, setting up my hook punch. He comes back with the hook off the backside, I come underneath, bob and weave, setting up my right hand over top, or once again to the body. So nice and quickly, we're going one off, two off, and always traveling into the punch. I never want to try and race the punch. Sooner or later, that hand will catch my face. I want to come to the outside and then throw my strike. That is the bob and weave. Very, very good for our legs, not the lower back. We want to always bend at the legs. Pushing up, and returning.